A former player faces his legendary coach, Spanoulis versus Obradovic. But this Monaco Partizan clash goes beyond storylines. It's a masterclass in defensive targets, calculated risks, and systematic exploitation of mismatches. Let's break down how Obradovic's Partizan dismantled Monaco's defense while containing their offensive weapons. Zeljko Obradovic opens with a crafty horn set. Jones pitches to Brown, gets it back after the fake. Washington clears the weak side, while Brown curls around Davies' flare screen for the catch and easy finish.
Partizan on the attack. And they get an easy bucket straight away.
A few possessions later, Spanoulis draws up a nice one. UCLA cut into a post-up for Calathes, flowing into a rip screen on the weak side for Diallo.
Brown this time creates his own shot. Calathes in the post, one-on-one with Washington. There's a backdoor cut from Diallo. This time he makes no mistake.
Watch here a stagger entry flowing into a ram screen with angle change. James draws Pokusevski on the switch, but Washington leaves Calathes on the weak side to force the ball out of James's hands. A calculated risk by Partizan. They'll live with Calathes getting open looks from deep. Again here, Washington provides deep help, leaving Calathes all alone in the corner. Another example of Partizan's clear defensive priorities. It seems Partizan applies a similar defensive principle with Blossom Game. After the hard hedge on Calathes, Jones is the low tagger, forcing Pokusevski to choose between two players. He picks James as the bigger threat, leaving Blossom Game open for the shot. Watch Pokusevski overcommit on Calathes, knowing Blossom Game isn't a perimeter threat. It's interesting to see Obradovic opt for hard hedging against Calathes, rather than the typical underscreen defense that dares him to shoot. Watch how Calathes exploits this, navigating past the hedge, drawing the defense to one side before skipping to the weak side for the open shot. He's a true master of the pick and roll. Obradovic applies hard hedges against James too. Seems the game plan is to force the ball out of both James's and Calathes' hands. But watch this smart counter from Monaco. Pass to the side and then to the roll man, creating a triangle to exploit the gaps that hedge defense leaves open. Watch Partizan press James and then blitz him on the side. Forces Monaco into a catch and shoot with Diallo as the shot clock expires. Here again, the defense collapses to prevent James from getting to the rim. Monaco kept hunting mismatches, repeatedly targeting Diallo and Cornelia's size advantage, a relentless part of their offensive game plan. Especially with Calathes handling the ball, getting it into the low post becomes almost automatic. His passing ability makes exploiting these mismatches even easier. Partizan did find some defensive answers. Watch Brown getting the deflection here, or Carlick Jones fronting Diallo. Small defensive wins against Monaco's size advantage. On offense, Obradovic consistently targeted both Mocha Yunus and James, either drawing them into ball screen actions, or isolating them defensively. They work to get Diallo off Carlik Jones, hunting for better matchups. Watch the domino effect. Alpha Diallo helps on Carlik Jones's drive. Jones kicks it out, and Partizan swings the ball around. Classic help and recover exploitation. Watch Washington attack Moti Yunus after using Davies' screen. Diallo gets caught on the screen, and Washington immediately exploits the mismatch. Notice Moti Yunus' defensive positioning. He's squared up to the ball. This foot alignment makes it nearly impossible to recover effectively, forcing him into that vulnerable backpedaling position. Watch Washington isolate Mike James here. In the following timeout, Obradovic reinforces the game plan. Keep attacking James on defense.
Hey, push, take the ball, kick it out. Okay, see? You attack Mike James. You attack. Okay? So, in transition every time, if you get possibility, let's take the ball with Mike James. Okay? So, first is zero. Good people here. Okay? Be patient. Pop out. Okay?
This is Obradovic's zero ATO play from horns. 4 and 5 stationed in corners, 2 and 3 at high posts. Fake screen on the strong side triggers the swing to weak side, where Davies screens James, their primary target. Washington drives all the way. Papagiannis blocks, but Partizan stays with it. Ball reversal finds Davies attacking the closeout for the score. Classic Obradovic. Multiple actions, specific player positioning, clear target. Watch Obradovic direct Brown to clear out, creating space for Washington to attack James early in the possession. Simple but purposeful. Get to their defensive target before help can set up. Monaco defends Jones by going under screens, but Partizan counters with rescreens to create better angles. Jones converts once against Diallo in isolation and finds Davies for another score. Notable plays against one of EuroLeague's elite defenders. Watch Diallo's defensive presence here, forcing the travel violation. Starting the second quarter with Partizan's full court press, but there's an interesting pattern developing here. Obradovic deploys this press after most timeouts, most likely to disrupt Spanoulis' ATO plays. It seems the objective here is to get the ball out of Calathi's hands, Monaco's primary play initiator. Although Monaco manages to run their play here, a horn staggered zoom flowing into a pick and roll. Lundberg gets caught on the screen. Tyreek Jones shows but recovers poorly, caught backpedaling. Papagiannis takes advantage, catches the lob for the easy dunk.
Charged this season at 1.4 a game. Second quarter underway. Draws out with the lob to Papagiannis.
The second quarter turned into an offensive showcase. Monaco finding their rhythm with 22 points, exploiting gaps in Partizan's previously tight defense, and creating second chances through offensive rebounds. Watch these defensive breakdowns by Partizan. First, Miscommunication defending the Spain pick and roll. Then in the next possession, another miscommunication on the pick and roll coming out of an Iverson cut from a horn set. Watch the late shot clock triple switch here, and Calathes recognizes the mismatch immediately. Takes Jones all the way to the rim. Here's the deep help coming off Calathes' defender, but it's not enough to stop James, who draws the foul. Following that, Partizan's transition defense breaks down completely. While Monaco found good looks in the second quarter countering Partizan's defense, they couldn't convert, finishing the whole game with a devastating 28.6% from beyond the arc. But Partizan's offense hit another gear, responding with 27 points in their highest scoring quarter. Monaco opens the quarter with an aggressive defensive adjustment, denying the ball handlers and forcing Tyreek Jones to initiate. Clear strategy to disrupt Partizan's offensive flow by keeping the ball away from their primary playmakers. Watch Partizan create an open look here, working off the ball through a floppy action. Throughout the second quarter, Partizan relentlessly targeted Strazel, running almost every offensive action at him. Either they scored directly on the mismatch or forced help and rotations they could exploit. Watch Lundberg attack Strazel here, forcing him to commit the foul to prevent the drive. Watch Strazel defend Carlick Jones here, going under screens to dare him to shoot. James gamble for the steal, leaving Lundberg wide open. Then Obradovic draws up a nice one. Jones fakes the ball screen, quickly rolls to the rim, forcing Monaco's rotation, which creates the open three for Bonga. One more clever ATO from the GOAT, a double stagger setup, but Tyreek Jones doesn't wait for the handoff. Instead, he reads the defense and attacks Modi Yunus straight to the rim. Lakic clears out, creating space for an empty corner pick and roll. Against the hedge-out defense, this leads to an easy finish for Tyreek Jones. Partizan hunting mismatches again. But Brown makes a poor decision here. Instead of feeding Jones in the low post, he drives right into him. Watch Obradovic's clear frustration. His team had the mismatch they wanted, but failed to exploit it properly. The third quarter was the complete opposite of the second scoring fest. Monaco managing just 15 points, Partizan 14. Partizan sets the defensive tone early. Hard hedging against James, Active hands in passing lanes, crisp rotations. Forces Monaco into a shot clock violation right away. Monaco finds a way through. Gets James an open look from 3 off an away stagger screen. Despite some defensive miscommunications, Obradovic stays positive, applauding his players supportively from the sideline. Watch Monaco try to punish Partizan from deep but can't convert. Partizan can provide help from non-shooting threats, prevent middle penetration, and stop drives like this one from James. This defensive approach becomes even more effective with Monaco's poor shooting night. Partizan's helpers can sag off, pack the paint, and focus on stopping penetration without fear of perimeter punishment. They didn't want to allow any drives to the rim, but Calathes manages to get there here and converts twice. Watch Monaco try to attack after the switch, but Partizan's defense is locked in, rotating perfectly to cover every mismatch. Everyone on the same page defensively. On offense, Partizan kept targeting Monaco's smaller guards, James and Strazel, but with less success. Monaco showed better defensive preparation. Carlik Jones struggled, scoring just 4 points, well below his season average. Partizan's offense hit a wall this quarter with only 14 points, managing just 87.5 points per 100 possessions. Watch Strazel going under against Jones, the rescreen force switch, but Monaco responds with a triple switch to prevent any post-up mismatch. Partizan keeps their mismatch hunting strategy alive, and Davies becomes the go-to guy this quarter. His 9 points and 4 rebounds, grabbing 33% of all available rebounds, prove crucial as other offensive options struggle. While Carlik Jones can't find his rhythm, Davies' ability to exploit matchups and dominate the glass keeps Partizan's offense afloat. Watch this beautiful action designed by Zeljko Obradovic. Starts with misdirection flowing into a pick and roll short. Jones draws help and kicks out. Brown's movement is key here. From under the basket to corner, then lifting to the 45 for the open three. Partizan opens the fourth with triple switch defense. Play ends up with Strzel isolated against Jones, who blocks Strzel's drive attempt. Partizan deploys multiple defensive strategies to start the fourth, going under screens against Calathes, acknowledging his shooting limitations. They bring back their full-court pressure, a tactic we saw earlier disrupting Monaco's timeout plays. There's no mistake that Partizan is one of EuroLeague's hottest teams over their last 10 games. Their numbers tell the story. Third best defense, allowing 111.6 points per 100 possessions, while their offense puts up 124.4 points per 100 possessions. This defensive excellence was on full display tonight, particularly in how they contained Monaco's primary threats. Their primary focus remains James. They're willing to leave non-shooting threats to provide deep help or even trap him. The ball denial is aggressive, forcing other Monaco players to handle playmaking duties. It's a calculated risk, betting that Monaco's secondary creators won't punish them. In the offense, Partizan stayed true to their game plan, consistently targeting Strzel with ball screens. Watch these two empty corner pick and rolls with Jones rolling. Carlick Jones and Lundberg attacking Strzel either from mid-range or driving all the way. They were always ready to recognize and exploit any mismatch the defense presented. This is classic Obradovic basketball, a team finding its rhythm at the right time. Now sitting in 7th place after a catastrophic start to the season, their bounce back has been remarkable. With a challenging schedule ahead, they're becoming one of EuroLeague's most intriguing stories. This game was a coaching masterclass from Obradovic, clearly outcoaching his former Panathinaikos player Spanoulis. A quick note on this video's format. I had extensive notes and chose to present them chronologically to better show how the game evolved. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this style of breakdown. This is Baskethead, breaking down the game we love.